and we received comments from the federal government, both from the FERC and from the National Wildlife Division, who loaned the state of Pennsylvania $50,000 20 years ago to purchase some property up there, which the state would have to pay back with 20 years interest. After I have all of those facts, I will be happy to make a determination, but all of those are going to be needed.
Now your time's up.
The FERC, you can inform Mr. Santos, already gave the developer the first step of his project, or more or less the green light to progress with the certain specifications and certain things for his dam. But also, it was noted that the 1 and 2 of that project he has withdrawn, and FERC has noted that. So he's only going with,
Time's up.
Which all of what number 3 is and so on, what the dam site is.
Turn that thing off a second.
What's your stance on bringing light industry into Pike County?
I think we already have an industrial committee. What the hell is the word you use?
Industrial Development Authority.
You have an industrial development authority that has been successful in the past years with introducing light industry into Pike County. I think they're doing a fine job, and they should continue to act along the route that they're taking.
Mr. Biondo?
Wrong words, but I'll get the right words down.
Well,
What's your stance on bringing light industry into Pike County?
Well, in the past, I believe we have a board. What the hell do they call it?
Industrial Development
The
Authority.
Industrial Development, I have to write this down, Industrial Development Authority, which in its early years seemed to have its act together and have their groundwork all set aside to encourage light industry into the county. And they've done a good job up to a certain point. But recently, I understand there's been quite a few resignations in that industrial board. And the reason being, what I understand, some of the funds that was appropriated to them by the commissioners have been withdrawn. And without funds, they really cannot operate with full capacity that they should. And in that vein, I understand there's quite a few that have resigned. I imagine probably one of my board members.
Light industry into Pike County.
Light industry in Pike County, number one, should have support of the municipality where this industry is going to be located. If the general population surrounding this industry is favorable to the industry, that should be number one priority. If some municipalities feel that industry of any kind is not needed in their community, I don't think the county should press to put an industry where it's not wanted. More or less is what you're trying to tell me, Joe.
Mr. Biondo?
I would pledge to look at each proposal for a new industrial site or a company to be located here on a one-on-one basis, looking at the benefits and the disadvantages, obviously, that the company would bring into Pike County. And after weighing those pluses and minuses, try and help the municipality in question make a decision that would be in the best interest of the residents of that area.
I would totally concur with my other two fellow candidates.
There's been a lot of information lately regarding the handling of solid waste. Do you believe we are facing a crisis in this area, and if so, how can we avert such a crisis?
There's no doubt in my mind that there is a crisis on solid waste in this area, which not only includes Pike County, but our surrounding counties. And a time is coming where the phrase is, don't dump on me. So I definitely feel that Pike County should be made, I had a word for it, self-sufficient in solid waste in Pike County. Whether it be incineration, whether it be landfill, whether it be recycling, My guess is it's going to probably be a combination of all three. But the biggest problem right now, the foremost thing that we must do now is get a site. A site is of the most importance, because without a site, you could discuss all these other issues with the solid waste and with the landfill.
Time's up. Mr. Biondo?
Obviously, a lot easier for the second guy.
Ah,
I'd have to concur with my colleague, Mr. Santos, and say that all of the points he made are very vital, and that we must take the first step in at least acquiring a piece of property that can be suitable for some type of waste disposal. I guess it would be up to the engineers to figure out exactly which form that would be, but I totally support the beginning process so that we are self-sufficient and we're not relying on an adjacent community out of state to take care of our waste problem.
I personally don't have the knowledge to tell you how we should handle our solid waste program. I will tell you that in the past, everybody in this area, in this state, and in all the surrounding states have taken an ostrich point of view by sticking their heads in the sand and moving their garbage someplace else. It's time that everybody realizes that we have to be responsible for the waste that we generate. Nobody wants it in their backyard. Somebody's going to have it in their backyard. I feel that a site has to be found, that the appropriate technical people have to be brought in, and that the situation has to be resolved, and has to be resolved now. The last federal statistics show that in the next 10 years, better than 65% of the states will not have a place to dump their garbage.
I agree with my colleague, but the fact that the site has to be sound is not such an easy task. It's going to take a number of years. But by the time you fool around with the state and the DER, and most important, the municipality where the site is going to be located, that in itself is going to take a few years. And it's going to be 3 years down the tubes if you don't start